construction site. And basically what this little cartoon is showing is some pretty advanced technology. What happened prior to this is that someone went out and mapped the area, produced a digital map. This was brought into the design folks, the design engineer who designed the road. The map and the design were uploaded onto the computers, in this case of the motor. Precision farming, another huge application for surveying, very similar to the construction management that we saw in the earlier slide, where a farm is mapped, contours are placed on there, the farm is designed, the farmer can keep track of pesticide application, irrigation, to only have to supply those things to areas that actually need it. In a case like this, that tractor back there shows an operator in the cab. He's basically there just to keep an eye on things. It's almost to the point right now where you can put a farm on autopilot. And each potato that you see in the hopper there has a name. And this is, again, a very exciting application that out west on the larger farms is being used quite extensively. We're starting to see interest in Michigan among the big agricultural producers. Topographic mapping, which has always been an area that surveyors have been involved with, basically taking a three-dimensional surface, some part of the earth, and projecting it on a two-dimensional map. In this case, we can see what the lay of the land is. We use these for any type of engineering design. So they're, besides that, they're used by backpackers, hikers, anyone interested, resource managers, anyone interested in what the lay of the land looks like and what's on it. We also do mapping underwater. That was an example of above surface mapping. In Michigan, we have a lot of water. Look at a map. We're two peninsulas surrounded by the Great Lakes. What's underneath has a great deal of interest. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, one of their boats is on the left-hand side, basically tasked with keeping the harbors open for navigation. They're continually taking surveys of the bottomlands using either traditional lead line methods, single beam acoustic soundings, or multi-beam acoustic soundings. This is an area that we have a particular interest in here at Ferris. We've been talking with the folks at Northwest Michigan College in a collaborative effort to create a hydrographic surveying program. That's their boat. That's a 56-foot survey, fully equipped survey boat, currently moored in Traverse City. This summer it was out in Leland, Michigan. We were, myself and two students, spent 2 weeks on board with the folks from Northwest Michigan.
Well, how do I sign up for that internship?
Pardon?
How do I sign up for that internship?
Oh, I'll tell you, it even gets better.
2 weeks in Leland?
Yeah.
It's even cooler.
And this was for a contract for the U.S. Park Service for mapping 120 square miles of Lake Michigan bottomland between the Sleeping Bear Dunes and the Manitou Islands.
Oh, very nice.
That didn't get any better than that.
Yeah, yeah. Hope it wasn't too rough for you. On Sundays it can get a little bouncy out there.
Well, we did learn that Dramamine is your friend.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Yeah, I actually, when I was younger, I was a reporter for the Leelanau Enterprise.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I got to ride with the Leelanau County Road Commission. The three road commissioners, the Leelanau County Road Commissioner, back in the 80s at least, were all contractors, and they knew how to operate equipment.
Okay.
And in order to keep their road funding from the state for the little two-track roads around North and South Manitou Island that nobody was really using, but it still counted as road mileage, so they still got reimbursed for it.
Whatever
They
works.
had to go out and perform some maintenance on it a few times a year.
Okay.
So they personally, the three road commissioners would personally go out with a couple guys from the road commission and just go out there and spend a day like moving trees out of the road that had fallen down on these little two-track roads around the Manitous.
Yeah.
And I got to go out with them one time on this little 70-foot barge with a couple of small front-end loaders on it. And yeah, it was pretty bouncy going out there. Even on a 70-foot boat, you notice.
Yeah.
So,
And it really makes you appreciate when you go out there in November and see those waves crashing over the pier.
I can't imagine being on a freighter and yeah,
Those lakes are awesome.
Yep.
Good Harbor Bay, immediately south of Leland. This is what it looks like.
Okay.
And this was a result of what we did this summer. The red here is the shoreline. as we're getting out into the lake, a little bit deeper water. That's
It's
what-
interesting, it looks almost like, there was a river there at one point,
Yes.
some ancient shoreline.
Matter of fact,
Yeah,
what we discovered this summer was that ancient river bottom in Lake Michigan and in the East Bay. And we're really anxious to finish up those slides and have further interpretation of them. But we think we've found and mapped that original ancient river bottom. Aerial mapping, something else we're very big into. What you're looking at here is the center of the Purdue University campus, where about 10% of our graduates go. And right across the street from the building where they take their survey classes is the School of Astronautics. And was listening to a talk a couple of summers ago from the Chief Operations Officer from NASA, who was explaining that the next mission is to send a 6-man team to Mars. And one remark that he made, to pull that off is going to take a whole lot of survey.
sure.
And I was telling my students that, I'm going to be real disappointed if among those 6 that are on Mars.
Well, and I can tell you from bitter experience, you have high school guidance counselors telling kids that a lot of science and engineering programs aren't worth going into because all that's going to be outsourced to India and China anyway. So there's not going to be any jobs in those fields in America.
Yeah, and they're dead wrong.
They're totally wrong.
Out of our graduating class last year, which looked at probably the most dire possibilities ever, by July, we had 3 offers for every graduate, starting salary of $50,000 or better. Now, to get that, it's not like the good old days where the low-hanging fruit was all over the place. They have to be willing to move, and they have to be willing to look at some of these special areas. That's where the opportunity lies.
My name is Joel East, I'm a senior in the program, and heard Professor Shanger ought to talk about, some of the special applications in surveying. I talked about the traditional stuff, boundaries, doing topos, and construction. I'm here to talk a little bit more about a specialized area. Over the summer, I had the chance to work at a particle accelerator down in Virginia. This was for the Department of Energy. So just a quick presentation here. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what Jefferson Lab is, what they do there, as well as why I was there. I was there primarily because of the upgrade that they're undergoing, and to kind of support the survey alignment group. So I'll talk a little bit about the